call it a rug. Rhymes with grug. I call this one a ride. Rhymes with grug.
That doesn't really rhyme.
Call this an air fryer. Rhymes with grug.
Ooh, I like that one.
I call this a shorty car.
What?
Rhymes with grug.
Where are you getting these things?
Call this one the Southern Border Crisis.
Oh.
Rhymes with grug. Fuck you. And I call this a...
No, seriously, please stop. All right, all your ideas are terrible. Just enough.
I call it curb stomping.
No.
Rhymes with grug. I call this getting mugged. Rhymes with grug.
I can't feel my...
And I call this an A10 warthog. Rhymes with grug. I call this one a slip and slide. Grug.
There's only pain.
I call it a good dad.
Right.
Are you sure?
I don't understand any of this.
I call it peak. Rhymes with peak.
Somebody please kill me.
I call it style. Rhymes with grug. I call it... Rhymes with grug. I call this a pixie stick.
No,
Grug.
drugs are bad.
Nope, can't help you, man.
Rhymes with grug. And I call this one crude stew.
Does that rhyme with grub?
And I call this Battlefront 3. I want it. Now. And I call this a thug. Rhymes with grug. Gang. I call this one crippling depression. Rhymes with grug.
Stop.
And I call this one...
No, seriously, I beg of you. Please put an end to this nightmare.
I call it Xbox.
Rhymes with grub!
I call this hospital visit.
Stay away from me!
We're going on an adventure. I call it a pug. Rhymes with grug. I call it a Switch 2. Rhymes with grug.
Overpriced game.
I call these younglings. Rhymes with grug.
Just pull the plug.
I call it dementia. Rhymes with grug. 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 And I call this a job application. Does not rhyme with grug. I call it dementia. Rhymes with grug. And I call this an ender pearl. Rhymes with grug.
What did I do to deserve this torment?
I call this Afghanistan. Ah! Why are we even here? That's the question we were asking for 20 years. Ah! I call it dementia. Rhymes with grug. I call this one the moonwalk. Rhymes with grug. If we could curse on this channel, I would be. I call this a peanut allergy. Rhymes with zoop. I call this cheating death. What? Rhymes with grug.
Came back from the dead just to keep torturing me?
Have you seen the views these videos get? We're gonna milk this thing for every drop we can. Yeah! I call this a mug. Rhymes with grug. I call this hair loss. Rhymes with grug. Why am I alive? I call it foreshadowing. I'm a...
Are you...
Rhymes with grug. No, I call it arson. Rhymes with grug. Grug tree. I call this therapy.
So how have you been feeling since our last...
That one doesn't rhyme with grug either. I call this the entire Crudes movie. It's a good movie.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I call it dementia. Rhymes with grug. And I call this one a grug. Rhymes with grug. Hi, Grug. Hey, Grug. Looking good, Grug.
Oh, why are there two of you?
I call this a chug jug. Please let me die, Grug. And I call this a shameless plug. I call this running for president.
Grug Crude promises to Grood for the people, and he dreams of seeing our nation rhyming with Grug.
I would like to let the American people know that my opponent is a frog.
Hello? Don't think. Vote Grug.
I am Grug Crude. and I approve drunk driving. I would vote for you, Grug. Thanks, Grug. I call it the atomic... I call these stairs. Rhymes with Grug. And I call this aura farming. Rhymes with Grug.
Oh, where's part 5?
Grug. Door. And I call this one the bite of 87.
The what?
And tax evasion. I call this a loser.
Hey!
And I call this one being scared of women. Rhymes with Grug.
Wait, are you actually scared of women?
And I call this ASMR. And I call this one a lifterator.
Oh, a normal one.
And I call one
What? I don't like...
rhymes with
Grug, you can't... change me... Grug...
I call it dementia. Rhymes with Grug. And I call this one the client list. And I call this one the high ground.
Please, no more, I'm begging you!
And I call this one a hug.
No, get away from me! No! Oh. This is actually kind of nice.
I call it a chiropractor. Rhymes with Grug. I call this a 90-degree angle.
Oh, my bones!
Rhymes with Grug. I call this a penguin. Rhymes with Grug.
I like penguins.
And I call this a wheelchair.
Oh,
Rhymes with Grug. And I call this one smug. Rhymes with Grug.
It's Smaug.
Smug. Smaug. Smaug.
Smug.
And I call this one tug of war. Rhymes with Grug of war.
Grug of what?
Kratos Grug.
You know, if there was a 10th circle, we're in it. This is it.
Grug. Live. No Russian. And I call this one Breaking Bad.
The money, Skylar. Where is the rest?
Grug. And I call this one Dr. Pepper. It rhymes with Grug. Here, we can share. I call this one I call it dementia. Rhymes with Grug. I call this one The Shining. Here's Grug. And I call this one Flint and Steel. I call this The Backrooms. Rhymes with Grug. Greg?
Wait, no, leave me anywhere but here. Take me back to Well, I think that 6 videos about Grug is a good amount.
I call this one a Mark I Desert Eagle. Rhymes with Grug.
Give it back.
No. And I call this one a microwave. Rhymes with Grug.
But I don't see any micro...
And I call this one Kirby. Grug.
Grug, how many videos have we been doing this?
I don't know, like 6, 7. I call this one a crew. Rhymes with Grug. Grug. Tricks. I call it dementia. Rhymes with Grug. And I call this one zero animation budget. Rhymes with Grug.
Oh, you're not even trying anymore.
I call this the definition of insanity. Grug.
What was that?
Don't worry about it. Microwave again! Why would you?
Wait, but hold on, this is new.
Yep. This right here. This is grug 8.
This is rhymes with grug 8.
This is grug 8.
I hate you.
I call it dehydration. I call this medical debt.
Wait, what?
Rhymes with grug.
Then I can't afford this.
Well, don't look at me.
I am looking at you. You did this to me.
I call it a bug. Rhymes with grug. And I call this John Cena. Rhymes with grug.
His name is John Cena!
Wow, I can't stop watching. I call this one a time machine. And I call this one my Mr. Rhymes with grug. I call it dementia. Rhymes with grug. And I call this one a deep fryer. Rhymes with... And I call this... I don't know what to call this part.
You remember that day on the beach?
What beach? We've never.
Guiding light.
Betrayed me? No, I don't. Are you playing?
What is that? And I call this AIO. I call this a continental ballistic missile.
Don't let it.
With grug. I call this an Xbox 360. Rhymes with... I call this throwing bricks at homeless people. I call this creative mode.
Okay.
Grug, mental decline.
I don't think you're insane at all, Grug.
Thank you, Tiny Grug. I call this another GTA 6 delay. I'm going to burn down a hospital. I call it dementia. Rhymes with Grug. I call it a flashbang. I call this a trolley problem. Rhymes with Grug.
What? Grug, there's supposed to be 2 tracks, Grug. There's supposed to be 2 tracks!
And I call this over here Solid Snake. Rhymes with Grug.
Grug, that's a cardboard box.
Or is it? I call it a black hole. Why? Don't be afraid, guy. Let the black hole take you, guy. Embrace this identification, guy. Embrace this identification.
Oh, what now? What? No, I'm not doing this. No! No!
It was a grug.
Just kill me.
For tonight was the night that guy would be visited by grug. Welcome to my grug. You have 10 seconds to run before the grug.
I'm not running anywhere. You paralyzed me, you psychopath. I can't even itch my own nose. How do you expect me?
Grug. 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 It's me. I'm the grug. This guy thinks he can escape.
What?